all those medals?
I'll never tell. At least not while the sun's shining.
Crotch rot. I'm gonna slurp my lifer's juice out of my own cup.
Yeah, I guess I should have gotten shots beforehand.
When I first heard that in the movie theater, I thought he said slop my own coffee out of my own cunt instead of cup. Like, why would he say that? That's gross. Oh, he said cup.
And that's
Monday.
how we start the week.
Yeah, there you go. It's another fucking Monday, and I will pause whenever Anima coughs so you can hear me. And
Sorry for having shitty lungs. You're an asshole, you know that?
it's true. I am. I'm your asshole. No, you already have an asshole. Yeah, I don't know.
God.
It only works with jerk. It only works with jerk.
Yeah. Stick to that, please.
Hey, Fishbelly's here again. Good to see you. Let's see who all is here, because I saw some good mornings. It's been a fucked up morning. I'm not on camera today because I've got some weird shit going on where I came into the studio and couldn't hear anybody. I could go to YouTube, hear videos, jump into StreamYard, can't hear fucking anything. Tried other browsers, nothing worked. Some weird shit going on. I'm going to have to let Martin take a look at my system after the show. But I'm glad we figured it out, but I do have to drop the camera because now it's getting weird and laggy. That sounds like the name of a song, Weird and Laggy.
Well, it's always weird with your camera, but now it's laggy.
True. Yeah. Oh, you're funny. You're so funny. Is that Venezuelan humor? Good morning to you, Penny. Let's see. Alex Moore is here. Pew, pew, pew. That's right. You have on your weapon selector switch, you have pew, or no pew, 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 pew. Nerds, only military nerds get that fucking shit. Daswolfen is in the show, so I'm gonna ignore you, John, in the chat.
That's
and
normal.
Of course, welcome Fishbelly again. D Bud Martin is here. Good morning. Zachariah 315 is here. Joseph Dredd is here. Cavatino Cavalryman Che is here. Let's see who else dropped in. Dragon Ruse is here. And did I get everybody?
Joe.
Oh, Joe is here. Hey, Joe.
Thunder
Hi, Joe.
Duck.
Thunder Duck.
I
What
love
the
that
fuck is that name?
I like it.
You can't see it. I'm grinning. It's like, what a great name, Thunder Duck. All right. Well, welcome everybody to Military Monday. We are approximately 2 days away from launching with KGRA and all shows. Our UFO Wednesday will be live on KGRA radio, or I'm sorry, digital broadcasting.
What?
So-
Next week, not this week.
Isn't it this week? Oh, you're right.
No.
It's next week. So we're 1 week and 2 days away. I'll be on my way after breakfast. Okay, Joe, that's awesome. So, yep, fuck it, it's Monday. I'm going to try something here because I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what the tech issues today are, but we're going to try it anyway. Let's get into the Terminal List episode 5. I'm going to go ahead and add it to the screen. Boom, there it is. Oh, look, that's us. There we are. Terminal List. I love those tomahawks, man. And
I
the
just
ones
don't
that,
like what he's doing with them.
the ones we had access to didn't look like those. Those are fucking evil looking. I like that. These are much nicer than the ones. The ones we had were more industrial in design that we could have used. I didn't carry them, But I knew quite a few guys that were in the right units that carried tomahawks, and they're really great in the field. But he has a special use we saw last episode for his when he gutted the guy who killed his family.
That was so dark.
And then made him walk with his intestines hanging out. That was something.
He didn't really walk.
No, he took a step and then was like, I'm done. He's like me when I'm working out. I get one bench press. I'm done.
I don't know
he'd already been bleeding a while, so.
That wasn't dark. That was just fitting.
Yeah, very true. By the way, today's show is brought to you by the delicious taste of Fuel Up Wake. I'm about to slurp some down. Oh my God.
Hey, Brandon is here. Hello, Brandon.
Brandon, hey. How you doing, my friend? Brandon and I talked before I went to bed last night. We had a long talk about everything that happened on Saturday. Boy, oh boy. And I'm feeling a lot better after what happened on Saturday. And I still want to apologize for ending the show 12 minutes early and so abruptly. But when I'm caught off guard by something, I'm not sure where to go with it. And so it's better to just end the show before I lose my shit on somebody. I'm at the doctor. Can I ask Gerry a question real quick? Yeah, man, shoot. Pat, we love you. Is everything okay, I hope? Please tell me everything's okay. Brandon, you're welcome to join us if you want to join us. Somebody want to send Brandon an invite? Did Joe get an invite?
Oh, yeah, I will do it.
All right, thanks, man.
Joe, yes, I send it to Joe.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, karimasu, Pat-san. So let's get to the question, Pat. God, you're a slow typer. Are you on your phone?
I think he's just fucking with you.
Oh, is he just fucking? All right. Watch, he'll ask an actual question. So in this episode, we begin pretty quickly with we're in the streets of somewhere in Iraq. I'm not sure where we're at. Let me go back a little bit and see where we're at. Because I don't think it says where it's at.
No. I think it just says it's 2007 in Iraq.
Yeah, no date. So anyway, basically this is a Kiowa Down situation, which anybody that knows the situation with Kiowa Down, it's an actual incident that took place near Fallujah. And I'm not sure if this is that incident or another incident. And this is where he meets the female helicopter pilot.
Riley.
Yeah, Riley. Oh, definitely. The Faulty Towers American one was worse. It was worse, but that doesn't mean that the Night Court is any good. It's terrible. I know some people. I think Brandon said that he actually enjoyed it, and I'm like I there's nothing funny on that show. But he had pointed it out that it's hard to make me actually laugh. And that's true. You got to actually be funny to make me laugh. But no, the answer is the Faulty Towers remake here in the U.S. with what's her name, B. Arthur, was just awful. It was just not funny. They completely misunderstood the character. Basil Fawlty is basically like a really terrible criminal, constantly trying to get away with shit and getting caught every time, and then panicking and doing the most extreme thing next to avoid imprisonment. And but no, it's I still think Night Court. I sat and I watched the entire first episode. Didn't make me smile. It has no story, and that's very frustrating. It's you know, I know Script Doctor was pretty hard on it too. I referred to it as schizophrenic, that it didn't know what the fuck it was. But well, Alex, there was an American attempt at making Faulty Towers with B. Arthur and John Larroquette was in that one too. John Larroquette is the best part of the Night Court reboot, but his moments are too few and far between, and the dialogue is it's not endearing. What made the original so good was one, there's conflict, there's a real story, and the character interactions in the show create a dynamic to where you become endeared to these characters. They're very endearing to you. Even Larroquette's character as Fielding, the prosecutor. It's the original series had a template. They should have used that template. And instead they're like, oh, we can do it better. And it was not better. It was just fucking terrible. But anyway, let's get back to Iraq. So we are here for the Kiowa Down. That is Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. Look at that face and tell me you can't tell that's Arnold's son. And he has one of the best moments in this episode. He has eaten something before a mission, and it's making him sick, and he's fighting shitting his pants.
And he was also warned to not eat it. So
he was warned not to eat it too. We told you not to eat it. I know. But boy, look at him. Does he not look like his dad right there?
He does. He looks like the old man.
He's Donnie, right? The character's name.
Yeah, Donnie.
Yeah.
Donnie, we told you not to eat it. I know, man. I know. He's squeezing his ass cheeks together, trying to keep from shitting
I'm
himself.
clenching, man. I'm clenching.
And they break out of the vehicle and start moving quickly down the street. They find her. She has, right out of the bat, as a medic, I noticed she has a compression injury on her spine, which is common if you pancake a helicopter landing. Some of those helicopters, like the Kiowa, have what's referred to as a Jesus nut. And if that Jesus nut gets broken, you're going to pancake. You're going down. Hueys were one of the, man, it was really bad. Because those things could break in midair. The newer helicopters, the Jesus nut works better. Well, the Kiowa and stuff like that, the Bell, all those helicopters. Currently, I don't think they use the same thing in the Blackhawks or any of the other modern helicopters. They got away from that shit. And they have a different drive chain in the helicopter. Guarded Kiowas while I was on active duty. Cool, dude. They're really pretty helicopters. I got to tell you. I didn't think you could take that classic Bell design and make a cool helicopter out of it, but the Kiowas are really cool. They're great from hanging high and doing intel. And I'm assuming that's probably what she was. She was either a lead gunship, scout gunship, not a lead, but scout. Or she was there for observing the battlefield for tactical information to be relayed to the TAC center. Or TOC center, I'm sorry. So here he's checking her out, jokes with her, and then all of a sudden his daughter talks to him. And this is the thing that's going on with him, where his memories are starting to layer over each other and filter into one another. So he'll have a memory, a flashback, and then all of a sudden he goes to a different flashback. And this time...
It's a dream, though, this time.
It's a dream.
He wakes up on the plane.
Because he's on the plane there. They're on autopilot, so she's sleeping too. And
No, they're not on autopilot.
No, they're
They're
in the hangar.
Oh, they're just hanging in the hangar. Hanging in the hangar.
Oh my god, you're so funny.
I guess I'm going to have to check this show out. I have not seen any of it, but it's got Chris Pratt in it, and it has Arnold's youngest. Yeah, why not? It sounds
You
pretty
should
good.
watch it.
Well, in real life, they work out together.
Well, I would hope so now, considering that he's married to Arnold's
Well, he's married
daughter.
into the Schwarzeneggers, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's he's like his bro, man. And so he got him into the show.
That's
Brandon,
cool.
This and Reacher are the best things that came out streaming last year. They really are. This one and Reacher.
And they're both on Amazon?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Now I will tell you, this show is a lot less woke than Reacher.
Yeah.
Because Reacher, it does it in the right way, in my opinion, because it is absolutely a checkbox TV show. They have characters in the show that are absolutely checkbox, and it only got annoying when the final act, we get to see them all fight their own individual bosses for some reason at the same location.
Yeah.
All the characters, the three main characters, fight their fucking main villain for each character, and I'm like, that's stupid.
Sounds like a bad video game.
That one, and when he comes walking out at the explosion and fire behind him, I'm like, oh my god, that is that's such a trope.
That's so canon.
So sick. Yeah, Canon Globus. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like I come in peace. Kind of line delivered right after it. Arnold says, I had to let him go. I hated that. This show, on the other hand, the only woke character in this show is the female federal marshal, and she delivers the line, I think, in episode 6. That even Anima was like, oh my god. I'm like, I know! It's such a stupid, cringy fucking line. Even Navy SEALs have to have heroes.
That's in
the
episode
line.
6, yeah.
That's the line,
Wow.
and it's stupid
I was like,
as fuck.
oh my god, why? So
I'm
stupid.
Army, and I would never fucking say that to anybody. I would not talk to a tier 1 operator and fucking say that. Not and realize what an asshole I am being for saying it. So here we go. We got Kai. What's his name again?
Jay Courtney?
Jai Courtney.
Jai Courtney. This guy is so fucking good in this role. He is a wannabe. He wants to be like an operator. That's why we saw him in the first episode doing his SEAL training. He's one of those guys that fantasizes about being a top tier soldier, but in reality, he's just another fucking white collar cocksucker. Wait. You don't like Arnold one-liners? I never said that, Chris. Don't ever put those words in my mouth.
Couldn't say. No.
My vocabulary, I learned to speak Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liners.
You promised you wouldn't kill me. I lied.
I lied. Hey, Matrix, where's Sully? I let him go. Worst
I wish
one.
I could stay.
Here's the worst one. No, please don't go yet.
Okay,
the worst 2 lines he ever said, was stick around. And the other worst one is, I'm a Green Beret, motherfucker. I had Green Berets for breakfast. Those 2 are the worst one-liners he ever delivered.
Yeah.
Still, what about everything from Batman and Robin?
Hey, I got to tell you, as terrible as that is, he's the highlight.
He is the highlight of that show.
Yeah.
He is.
Freeze.
Chill.
He was the best part of that fucking movie. And he really was. Good morning,
Totally
Keelan Chow.
miscast, but he ate it up the scenery when he was on.
Oh, look, everybody in that movie. And by the way, if you didn't know this, when you talk about an actor's performance and you say chewing up the scenery, you are saying that they overacted.
Yep.
Everybody chewed up the scenery in that fucking movie. I
Except
mean,
Clooney. He was only in it 10 minutes.
Holy Rusted Holes, Batman from. Oh my God, that was one of the worst. Holy Rusted Holes, Batman by Dick Grayson.
Holy Rusted Metal Batman.
Oh, Rusted Metal.
But actually, that was in the Val Kilmer film, he said.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't matter. It's still just all really bad dialogue for both movies. Stick around. Yeah, when he throws the machete at a dude and sticks him to one of the support beams.
That was Predator.
Goes, Predator. He goes, stick around. I'm like, oh my God, dude, fuck off with that. The only thing I wish that they had left alone with Commando was that when he's like killing people and he cuts that guy's fucking arm off and the guy screams and he beats him with his own arm that he cut off. And they cut it out of the film and I'm like, why would you do that?
That's
Most epic thing on the planet.
right?
Yeah.
People talk about doing that.
Knock a guy out with his own arm. I mean, oh my God. Good morning, Monkey Jeeves. Yeah. Do you know what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Yeah.
But real quick, Brandon, what they did right with Reacher was and I hope they continue this. They did the entire first book as the first season of the show. They're taking a book from the series and making it a season. So that it was very.
What I'm hoping with Reacher that they do is they do like Saw, where he gets trapped in a round barn and has to fight his way out, and it's called Reach Around.
Does that include the back kisses and the proper reach around etiquette?
Yeah, yeah. You have to kiss the back of the neck. It's essential. Otherwise, it's just fucking. I'm just saying.
Right.
There's got to be a little love in there. So Jai Courtney. Oh wait, sorry.
Tom Cruise to be in the second season and being the villain.
Careful.
It'll never happen. But is he not listed as one of the producers on that? Because he still has certain rights to the Reacher property.
Who's that?
Tom Cruise.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me.
I'm gonna check just real quick.
I'm gonna do it. I'll do it for you. Go ahead and do what you're doing. I'll do it.
Yeah, I really wish I could say Gary. Unfortunately,
I wish
my day
too.
job is.
And thanks for talking with me last night, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, you bet. And if I may do a quick shameless plug, just a quick one.
Okay, but make sure to kiss the back of the neck. That's important.
Well, of course I'm going to kiss the back of the neck because you're my guest tomorrow. That's right. Gary is going to come on to the Anime Guy channel, and we're going to talk some 70s fun stuff. So let's see. I think we said 8 o'clock Mountain Time, so 10 o'clock for you Eastern people, 9 o'clock for you Centralers, and of course 7 o'clock for you early birds out there in the People's Republic of California, Portlandia, and Olympia.
Fantastic, dude.
Yes.
All right,
absolutely.
buddy. I'll see you later, man.
We'll see you. Take
Bye,
care,
Brandon.
everybody. Have a great day.
Also tomorrow, Christopher Moonlight will not be here for his show, but Tom from Midnight's Edge is going to step in and host
Nice.
Morning Coffee with. So I may jump in just to say hi to him too before his show, but I won't be on the show. And from what I'm understanding, Tom can only broadcast for an hour, so the show will only be an hour broadcast tomorrow. I apologize. But these things pop up. Normally, I'd be able to jump in, but I'm actually going to be doing a stream with Brandon, so I won't be able to help do the show tomorrow. John, you and Martin can stretch the show an extra hour if you want.
Okay.
You guys can handle that? Do the second hour?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All
No
right.
problem.
We'll talk with Tom about that later. But it's kind of cool. Tom's going to be doing that. I don't know what the subject's going to be for tomorrow. Tom's going to get back with me, so I'll create the studio and all that shit when that happens. So we'll see. But anyway, looking forward to... and I don't mind, by the way, because I find that Tuesdays I don't hardly ever do anything except for hang out with Anima. And occasionally...
And Toxic Tuesday.
And do Toxic Tuesday in the evening. So I don't normally give up my Tuesdays, but for Brandon, I'm going to do it because I love Brandon. He's a cool guy. And he really did. We had a really good talk last night, and I appreciate him so much because he absolutely is a there for you guy. He's one of those guys that's always going to be there for you. And if you guys don't know him, get to know Brandon. Watch his show. It's really fucking good. So let's get back. So we got Jai here. We're about to get into a scene with creepy dude that owns the company.
Mike.
Yeah.
You're so bad with names.
Yeah, I don't like names. I like faces. The only thing I got to say is he's got the weirdest beard in the world. It just, his mouth doesn't fit that beard.
That's a villain.
But yeah, it's like it was drawn on or something.
Yeah, it just looks CG. It just looks so weird. It doesn't match the shape of his mouth, and it just looks really odd. But this guy's such a good fucking actor, you kind of forget it. So they're having this discussion that has to do with selling out the company and making a bundle of money off it, and it's all about getting away from what might be coming because of the problems with the drug that they've created.
Yeah, he really wants to close the deal.
Yeah, and this guy, he always has the same expression. Go back into the fucking 90s and see him on the X-Files. He ages, but he doesn't change. He looks exactly the fucking same. He's got the weirdest face. And he's not happy with the deal. And Jai is telling him, that's too bad, because this is happening. We cut back to the hangar. We see them working out the plan for what they're going to do next. Do you want to go into that, Anima?
There's not really that much to go in, I think.
Oh, okay.
Well, yes. There's an important point in there.
Okay.
In that discussion.
Okay.
No, it's in the no. I'm sorry. I'm mixing. I'm like Grace. I'm mixing memories.
All we know is that she's got his back, and he's trying to get all the information he can about the next group of people he has to deal with. And so she's going to go run some intel at one of the buildings, as I recall, right? She's helping him run intel, gather information. We got somebody else jump in. Oh, Cece's here. Hi, Cece. And Dragon Brick? I don't see Dragon Brick. Hi, Dragon Brick. And this is where the federal agents come in to talk to Jai about what's going on and why people that work around him are suddenly dying. And if he's concerned and he's not concerned, doesn't seem to give a shit. I feel awful they're dead.
They ask him about his connection to Reese, and he pretends to not know him.
Yeah, I don't know that name. Who's this? And they refuse to believe that. There's the checkmark character that annoys me. She didn't have to be a checkmark character. She could have been an interesting character, but they ended up writing her in such a way that she's just really not likable at all.
But that's the only issue we have with the writing.
Yeah, she's the only character that's written intentionally not to be likable. And I don't think they intended her to be not likable. I think the intent was to make her super badass and not taking shit in a man's world. In a man's world.
Yeah, that always goes wrong.
Yep. Look at Jai, man. That fucking dude beefed up for this. He was already big when he did the
Captain Boomerang.
Suicide Squad.
Boomerang, when he played Boomerang. But he
was in the first Reacher movie too.
Reach Around?
Yeah, he was in the first Reach Around movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Reacher with Tom Cruise. He's
I remember the movie. I'm just trying to remember.
He's the boss fight at the end of it. Yeah, he's the
I got to go back and watch that. It's been too long since I've seen it. I haven't watched it since it came out.
Yeah.
So they're basically questioning him, and he's giving them answers, and they know that he's trying to shine them on. And it's brought up that she calls him out on being a phony military guy, that you have no military background, but you sure like to train like one and be around.
And he has military tattoos.
Yeah, exactly. And he says it's his homage, his nod to those who served. But, I think what they're getting at is that he's a stolen valor kind of person, that he likes to play this. And if you didn't notice it in the first episode, he likes to muscle around other Navy SEALs or Rangers. He likes to push them around and be alpha male amongst them. So, he yelled at one dude, says, if you don't pick up your game, I'm going to let you go, kind of thing. And he's talking to fucking combat effective dudes. So he considers himself an alpha dog, and she's calling him out on it. But once again, She's doing it. Not the other dude. She's doing it. So this is all stuff that's been given to her character to do in the show that I think is intentional, and it makes her unlikable. She's an unlikable character.
She's the military one. She's the one that
She's
should
Ranger,
know
Army Ranger.
The tattoo, not the FBI guy.
Well, just to say,
the guy knows shit about the tattoos.
that's not the point. She could bring it up, but they would have clearly have had a conversation about this. This isn't something that just she would bring up and the other dude wouldn't know about it. All this is given to her specifically, and it's part of the reason why her character is so unattractive. And I don't mean pretty. I'm talking about interesting or endearing. There's nothing likable about her character. So anyway, so he's, hemming and hawing around it, and they leave, and they have a little hallway conversation, and then we cut back to the big conference meeting where the deal is going to get pushed, and we see, what's her name? Wu
Katie.
In the scene. Katie.
Katie.
I know her real name.
Constance Wu.
Yeah, Constance Wu. And it's good to see her come back, because her career was about over when she did some of the stuff she did.
Hey, Wade is here.
Hi, Wade.
I'm trying to see him. He's not popped into the chat yet. I don't see him. There he is. Okay, Real Wade Nation. Hey, buddy. Good morning. So she got too big too quickly is really what happened. She had Fresh Off the Boat, and then she did the Asian Wedding movie. And during the shooting of that film, she was living in a condo with I can't remember if it was a dog or what it was. It was an animal of some sort that ran around on four paws. And she was told not to have any pets in the place. She had a pet in there, and it shit everywhere in this condo. So it looked really bad on her. And then on top of that, she started criticizing some of the work. She got really kind of Me Too woke behavior, and did the whole losing her shit because they renewed Fresh Off the Boat for another season, and she acted like this was a burden. And even some of her fellow castmates were having issues with what she did doing that. And she did an apology tour, but it didn't help. And she disappeared for a little bit. You didn't see her for a while. And now this show is her return. And she does a great job in this role. I like her as Wu. Or as, what's her name? Katie. It's a good character. And I like the fact that she doesn't just immediately buy into the Navy SEAL's story. She doubts him. And that's why, it's harder to believe his story, because you begin to question his mind. He questions his mind. She questions his mind until that incident with the dude that tries to kill him for outside the restaurant.
She's just doing a good job.
Yep. So in this scene, what is she doing?
She's asking about the project.
RD4895.
Yeah. She wants to know why did they go into Alzheimer's research when there's no cases in the family. She's just suspicious and digging into that, and they are not giving her any info that she couldn't have found on the internet already.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm sorry. I want to address Monkey real quick. That's not what I was saying. She actually hid. She wanted to go weather the storm, and she stopped working, is what she did. She probably went and did a lot of stage work, maybe some other stuff. But no, nobody canceled her in Hollywood. But she was on the verge of it if she had kept it up. And I think she did the smart thing by stepping back and out of the limelight. So that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, the bunny, that was it. It was a bunny, and it shit all over the place. That was it. She's good at playing an annoying character. I got to tell you something. I loved her character in Fresh Off the Boat. I love the mom. She was your typical dragon mom, helicopter mom. demanding the best of her children. Fucking, it's a good show. If you've never watched Fresh Off the Boat, watch that fucking show. Don't worry, Anima. I'll introduce you to it eventually. And yes, it's been canceled.
Oh, good, because I have nothing to watch.
Right.
I don't need your shit this morning. I've already had a crappy morning. Thank you very much. So again, Martin, or who was giving you a description? Was that you, Anima?
Yeah.
What she was doing in the
Yes.
scene? All right, let's get back to it.
She just wants more information about Nibellum than she can get on the internet, and they're not giving it to her.
And doesn't she get a look from the ugly dude?
Well, he gets up and leaves, and she follows him into the men's toilet and tells him
That's it. Yeah.
RD 4895, and that it was used on
Yeah, this is
on
after he
the
walks out,
seals in Syria.
and then she follows him into the bathroom. And they have a really good conversation. And she's like, look, you want to get out in front of this. Is basically what she's saying. This shit's going to come out, and you're going to want to be out in front of it. And so he listens to her.
And I think he's scared that she knows so much already.
Yeah, well, he's terrified of the implications because he's looking at the potential of not just losing money, but going to prison. And he knows that.
And she gives him her contacts and tells him to let her know when he's ready to talk about this.
Yep. And so there's, I can't remember if that's her or if that's Chris Pratt taking photos of the place.
That's the
Chris
FBI.
Pratt.
Oh, is that the
he's
FBI?
he is taking photos of the place, but the FBI is onto her, and he sees that and warns her.
And Chris is
Yeah.
taking photos of the FBI taking photos
Yeah.
of her.
Yes.
It's so funny. So now
I
we're
think
back.
it's funny that the FBI is staking out someone and not realizing that they are being staked out as they do it. That's really cool.
Yeah, so now we see him back at their talk, which is the hangar. TOC stands for Tactical Operations Center. This is where they're planning their mission and gathering intel. Some of it can also be referred to as a sandbox. This is where they also plan the mission, usually on a tabletop. But they're not there yet. They're gathering the information first. She took their car and left his bro and family without transportation. Oh, I know. What a dick move, dude. That was so fucking... When you really think about it, it's the only fucking car and she took it.
She left the kid's seat behind, though.
The
That was
kids, the
thoughtful.
mom, the dad, they're all wheelless now.
Yeah, I need to go get something. I'll be back. Then just fucking leaves.
How did she get there?
I don't know. I think
thought
she
she
probably...
was-
I think she Ubered to get there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we get more planning, discussing what we're seeing, and then he sees her there. And of course, he knows, once again, that the FBI are following him, so yeah, there they are. I like these table scenes, because they're shot in very interesting ways. I like these low-angle shots here. Jai's, over to the left center. And this is interesting, visually. As an artist, I look at that and it's like, this is how I would draw this scene. Him back there behind him. Now, even though you're thinking to yourself, he's just observing the meeting, they lined him up to be looking right at the back of his head. Mm-hmm. And that's visually important. It's telling you something. And I like that.
He's threatening him to make the move.
Yeah.
Close the deal.
Yeah. The guy sitting down's in danger, is what that picture says.
Yep. So now they communicate, and
He contacts her and wants to meet, yeah. And she says, not over the chat. We need to meet, actually, to talk. Because-
yeah, and then he comes back to meet with Jai, tell him, hey, man, I'm so sorry I blew up at the meeting, man. We're all good, man, but Jai's already on to him. Doesn't trust him.
It's Horn, Steve Horn.
You can look at that face. Look at his expression here. He's telling you everything. This guy does not have a poker face. Yeah, I'm on to you, bitch. I'm on to you. We're all good. Yeah. Go fuck yourself. I'm going to have you killed.
And after Mike leaves, one of his men comes in and confirms that Mike has been in contact with the press.
Yep, right here.
So he sends his man after him.
And downloaded files.
And of course, Constance is in danger because of this. And she's unaware of the
Katie.
imminent danger. I keep saying her real name. And by the way, because you say her Katie name doesn't make her still by her real name, because she's still
You're
that's her real name.
confusing me.
You're confusing yourself.
I'm confused always.
Hence the name.
Confusa. Yeah, Badjai. Badjai. Smack him on the nose like Scott hit me with the newspaper the other day. No, Gerry. No. Live on the show. I couldn't believe he did that. That was funny. So here we got, I'm sorry, I'm going to say his real name, Chris Pratt,
Oh my God.
in the car.
Reese.
The only Reese I know is Terminator.
Kyle.
Shut up.
The Watchers watching the Watchers. I love this. The Watchers are being watched.
Who watches The Watchmen?
Yeah, I know. I always love that line in the comic. I don't know why, but this shot reminds me of Total Recall.
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah.
famous shootout scene where he's using bodies to...
Yeah, using people on the
armor.
escalator as armor.
just meat flying everywhere. Oh.
No, look, Fish, I totally agree with you. I agree with you on it. There's a lot of shitting on the other branches. We do that all the time. But a ranger turning to a tier 1 operator or saying that about a tier 1 operator just sounds mentally retarded. Nobody would fucking do that. That was my problem with that line. And I didn't like the fact that they gave her that line, because that makes you, because she's also saying about the main protagonist as well. So psychologically, you absolutely are pre-designed to dislike her because of that, because she's mocking the protagonist.
Yeah, no respect for him.
A good writer knows better than to do that. And I fucking hate that shit when they do that. But good comment, Fishbelly. You're right. Oh, well, gee, look at that.
That
What are
took
the
you a
odds?
while, Jeebus.
Yeah,
wrong?
what's up with you, Jeebus? You're off your game today, man.
Not on your A game.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Dude.
Can
let
I
me
give
do
him
the-
one?
I want to do that new one. I want to do that new one.
Yeah, I want to. I want time.
Okay, do it. She has admin now, so.
I have to practice that.
Do you know how to do it?
Yeah,
Do you
no.
know-
I'm looking for it right there.
Oh, I thought you had it already. Way to go.
If his themes are anything like mine, he's got 100 videos.
All right. Where's your fuse box?
It's by the back door.
Yay!
If you've never seen Undateable, it's one of the best shows that ever was on NBC.
It really is.
And what I loved about it, and I actually we've been watching it in order, Anima and I, but I actually jumped ahead and let her see one episode from season 3. I think it was episode 1 when they went live, and they would
The
do
first
two.
live one, yeah.
Yeah, they would do 2 live simulcast episodes. One, not simulcast. They would do one episode for the East Coast and do another episode later live for the West Coast. And I like also that you can watch both episodes, both versions, and you can spot the differences where they got some stuff right, and they would break character so often and break the fourth wall and look
Oh my God,
right
it's
in
so
at the
funny.
audience or at the camera, and it's hilarious. I love that show. When you've got really good improv actors at comedy, you're going to get gold when you do shit like that. And I could not believe it got canceled after that. They doubled their viewership in the 3rd season and still got canceled. And it broke my heart because I felt it was one of the smartest, funniest shows going at the time, Undateable. And Jesus Christ, you and your fucking backdoors, you assholes.
Front door team and back door team.
Betty, there you go. The fucking back door. It's like it's a domino thing. Once one starts, they just start breaching the door constantly.
They like the videos so much.
Yeah, well, the videos, we got to find more. I want to find more because I know there's got to be a lot more backdoor references.
We keep finding them as we watch stuff. So,
but what I want is something similar to what John has, Daswolfen. He has one of those little things that you push buttons on. But I want that in software form so I can just have hundreds of fucking videos broken down into groups so I can just hit a video in that group. Jim from The Office broke my quota for breaking the fourth wall. Yeah, look, dude. That show had ongoing fourth wall breaks. And not just Jim. Other characters would do it, but Jim was the most notorious to look at the camera. And it has, real way, that's just you're just cheating now. You're not even trying on that one. I say something and then you repeat that with the back door.
They just like derailing the show.
I know. Everybody does. But anyway.
Speaking of derailing, where's Bill?
Pope is in the
Hey,
house.
Pope.
Hi, Pope.
Bill.
Bill Barkley.
Bill Barkley.
Oh! Yeah, he
Officially
tagged me
radio.
this morning. What is up with him? Where is he? He tagged me this morning, and it was interesting what he tagged me with. Here it is. I'm going to find it here. Shared a link on your timeline. This looks interesting. Apple TV. I just talked about this over the weekend. Apple TV is putting out some quality stuff, but they don't have the audience for it. And they've got a new thing called, I think it's called Hello Tomorrow with Billy Crudup. And I've seen some stills from it. It takes place, I think, in the 60s, maybe the late 50s, early 60s. And it looks really good.
My daughter worked on the Scorsese movie that the one with DiCaprio, Killers of the Something Moon, that's going to be on there.
Ooh.
So
I'm wondering when we're ever going to get that fucking the White City movie. DiCaprio was initially involved, and so was Scorsese. But now I don't know who's doing it. It's the story of the America's first Jack the Ripper serial killer.
Wow.
That hunted women, built a hotel that was nothing but a series of murder rooms. They were designed to kill people. And they're in Chicago. And he would talk women that were going to the World's Fair to lodge at his place cheaply. And then he'd murder them. And he killed other people, too, for their money.
That one I'm talking about takes place. It's an event that happened in Tulsa. It has to do with almost an American Indian genocide that happened in the late 1800s, early 1900s, something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would be H.H. Holmes.
It's called Killers. Hang on, I'll look it up real quick. But anyway, yeah, my daughter worked on it. She worked security there, and that's what got her the connections to get her in with the movie company. That she moved to Atlanta just recently to go to work with them. She's trying to get her foot in the door, Gary.
That's really good. Good stuff, man.
Oh, she loves it. Yeah, she's living the dream. She has no kids. I told her, I said, now's the time to do it, man. She just turned 30, so I was like, hey, you got to do it now, or you're never going to do it.
Yeah, I tell you, you let your 30s go by, you're fucked. Anyway, Cam's Crash Courses is here, as well as Zach's. Our buddy Kyle is here. Good morning. Breaking the fourth wall. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's true. It's true, Monkey. So anyway, they now meet at the platform. She tells him not to bring his mobile phone because it can be tracked. And by the way, I introduced Anima to Julia Dye, Dale Dye's wife, yesterday. I tricked Julia into joining me. I told her I wanted to talk to her about something, and then she showed up, and it was really just to introduce her to my girlfriend.
She is so cool. Oh my God.
Yep. And she made an interesting statement that basically GPS, she pictures GPS and God being very similar in how they function. And I'm like, that's an interesting breakdown that, tries to guide you in the right direction, but if you take the wrong turn, what does GPS say? Recalculating. Recalculating.
They
Here it
both
is,
don't
Gerry.
get
It's-
angry when you don't follow the directions. They just calculate and
Yeah, God doesn't get angry. He just says recalculating.
I really like that.
Killers of the Flower Moon, members of the Osage tribe in the United
Osage.
States were murdered under mysterious circumstances in the 1920s, sparking a major FBI investigation involving J. Edgar Hoover. This is a real event that happened. Apparently, it's a passion project.
Who's playing J. Edgar in it?
I'm looking.
Because I hope it's not DiCaprio because he already played him once.
No, he's playing the main guy named Ernest Burkhart. De Niro's in it. Let's see, Lithgow's in it. I remember I got a phone call from Brendan Fraser's in it. It's got a big cast, man. Look it up on IMDb. I'm looking for J. Edgar Hoover. It doesn't have an actor listed as him.
Yeah, okay.
Here. But it was apparently it was the first major motion picture production by Apple Films. So
well, they need to build their audience. They got to get more of an audience because they don't have enough watching.
They've got good stuff on there. If you guys have never seen C, it's very interesting.
A lot of good stuff. I got to get back to the show, man. We're behind. So she meets him at the platform. They're having a conversation, and then she spots a dude behind him, and says, "You didn't bring your phone, right?" And he says, "I left it in the car." And she goes, "No, I told you to leave it at home." Yeah. So they've tracked him there. And so they got to get out. We see the first hitman going in right here, but the guy that's watching him is also armed, and we don't know who this is. I thought at first when I was watching it that it might be Pratt. So we cut to them down there, and they got to get out. And she's like, "We got to go now." And they start running up the stairwell. While going up the stairwell, he gets nailed in the head. Oh, they're not. I'm just going to play it slowly.
Yeah, he's giving her information before they start running.
Right. And
the information is that
he told her everything.
Yes. RD4895 was originally meant to cure PTSD, which worked fine in animals, but then they rushed to human testing, found out it caused tumors, and this is why Horn is rushing to seal the deal, because the whole project is probably worthless. And before that comes out, he wants to sell it. And the Syrians, to kill the SEALs, to cover all that up, they were paid by taking shares out of Nibella.
Right. And this is where he gets croaked right here.
Yeah.
Boom. He gone.
Bye-bye now.
She hauls us up the stairs, sits down, waits for the guy to come up, and then fucking kills him. So she kills the first hitman.
And Reese kills the second one.
Yeah, and she's heading out the door, and I do like this shot. I'm going to show it, the shot here, because she sees the bus. She's already killed the dude. She shot that fucking dude. And then, boom, here comes another one about to kill her, and she stops like a deer in headlights, and boom. That was fucking cool.
Yep, turned him off.
Yeah.
Light switch off.
Yep.
And there he comes. And it's pure luck that he knew or figured out to be there. So, and he lets her know, I can't guarantee your safety at this point. You need to lay low and stop getting into things. And then he demands information from her. And she's like, but the story, and he goes, fuck your story. Yeah. I need that information. And she
refuses to give him names.
Yeah, and he gets aggressive with her here. Letting her know, I ain't fucking around. I don't think he'd hurt her, but he definitely menaces her here. And then he figures out it's probably in her bag. And he looks in the door, sees the bag, gets the stuff, gets what he needs, and then leaves her and tells her, lay low. I'm not going to save you. I can't save you again. I've got my own shit going.
He tells her that.
Yeah, she runs to the door. That's right. And he points the weapon at her. I can't be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my own balls of shit to roll here. It's a good scene.
Yeah, it's great.
He's on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And then he makes a phone call to his buddy, Ben. And
because he needs
wakes him up in the middle of the fucking night.
Yeah.
He says,
Because
really
Katie doesn't give him names, so he needs Ben to find out who's behind this. And he tells him, if I make that call, people are going to start asking questions.
Yep. And then she confronts this piece of shit right here, who's absolutely fucking nose deep in this mess.
Yeah, she found his Cryptex phone that is not on the Pentagon network, so she knows he's behind her back and also receiving money from Steve Horn.
Kickbacks,
So
yep.
he's busted. He's busted.
Which is why we need to get rid of these, the peddlers that are doing this shit. What do they call them in government?
Lobbying.
Lobbyists and the people that work for government officials that deal directly with lobbyists. Fire all of them. Absolutely nothing good will come of lobbying. She's an interesting character, kind of a background character that just pops up now and again when we need to show that stuff's going on in the background with this case. It's not just Chris Pratt and his friends. Chris Pratt and Friends. That's the name of the show. And so he's in the hangar. I can't remember. Who's he talking to there? Her?
Righty. Oh, who is he talking on the phone with? I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Yeah, no, that's Ben. I'm sorry. I do
It's
know.
Ben, was it Ben?
Ben calls with the names and tells him the Admiral's name is on that list.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the middle of the show.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the middle of the film.
And so they now have more information and are connecting. And I hate it when conspiracy theorists try to connect the dots, because I'm like, you can connect a lot of dots and it doesn't make a drawing. It's important to make sure you're connecting the correct dots.
Yeah,
And
sometimes it just looks like a bad Etch-a-Sketch.
yeah. I mean, you connect the dots and you get that fucking asshole that confronts Buzz Aldrin, telling him that he never went to the moon. And Buzz Aldrin knocks him fucking unconscious. 75-year-old dude knocks out this 20-something dude. It was fucking awesome. I love that. It's one of my favorite moments caught on fucking video. Like, this dude's harassing an old man, a hero to this fucking country. How dare you lie to the people? Fucking Buzz just turns around and just clocks him.
No, he clocks him when he called him a coward.
Yeah, you don't fucking do that.
Come on.
Come on, man. Come on.
That's the last thing an astronaut is a coward.
Yeah, but Buzz was taking it in so very kindly until he said, "You're a coward," and instantly, boom.
Yeah, I mean, you
don't turn to a real man. Plus, on top of that, Buzz, like so many guys, were combat vets too.
Combat vets and test pilots.
Yep.
I mean,
he was
they strapped
never a
rockets
fucking
to their ass
coward.
for a living and didn't know what they were going to do when they got in them.
No guarantee you're going home tonight. So anyway, we're in the scene where they're, once again, they have more dots that they can connect, and they've got to move forward with Jai's character because, and this is where she's concerned because he wants
to make a bomb.
A specific kind of bomb. It's an insertion bomb. It is a bomb that's designed specifically to blow up in one spot and do damage to somebody else next to him. And it's really, it bugs her because there's going to be, this is in the middle of downtown Los Angeles. You're talking about setting off an explosive downtown. And so she makes him promise that if anything happens, if there are people around, that he is to scrub the mission, no matter what.
Yeah, because she's fine killing Horn, but she doesn't want any civilians hurt in this.
Oh, Pope, absolutely. Put that back up. They had just lost astronauts. Died in that fucking capsule because they had mistakenly used pure oxygen. And people don't know this. It annoys me when they don't understand. Oxygen is not flammable. What oxygen does, and the more pure it is, makes something else that's flammable more flammable. So what they discovered is that Velcro, which was the new thing, was everywhere inside the vehicle. And it was on everything. And it was just, oh my God, it was everywhere. And there were wires. And Velcro is flammable. And it's now in an oxygen-rich atmosphere inside that module. And everything that was flammable now is even more flammable. And a spark happened inside the capsule, and all that Velcro caught fire. And it spread. And they had just released the explosive bolt door to blow that door. And so they couldn't get out of the fucking door in time. And they died. First major life-ending incident for NASA.
It was Apollo 1.
Yep. Originally, it wasn't Apollo 1. It became Apollo 1 because of what happened. So, anyway, yeah. And then he got in there and fucking went... Oh, anyway. So, she makes him make that promise. He doesn't like it. But he does. He makes the agreement because he is mission-oriented right now to kill the people that killed his family.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to hurt any civilians. He just tells her, I know what I'm doing, and I'm pretty sure it's safe. It will only kill him.
Meeting, it's in that discussion that we learned that Donnie wasn't really in the operation in which they rescued her. That was another...
it was another member, yeah.
Yeah.
So once again, he's having mixed up memories. And now we see the lead federal agent. He is there at the building, and he requests that all the vehicles' tags be checked because he suspects Chris Pratt is there. O2 will not burn. Anything else will burn in it. Very much so, but oxygen is not flammable. It's explosive, but it won't be a fire explosion. If you have oxygen in a tank, you shoot the tank, it'll blow apart due to pressure. But oxygen does not burn.
Nope.
Will not burn.
It's an accelerant.
Yeah, it excels other things, exactly.
No, it's an oxidant. Without oxygen, there is
and I'm not trying to correct you, Pope, but I'm correcting you.
No, one of the things we worried about as a furnace tech, we had a furnace that ran on O2. And what you were worried about if you had a leak is your clothing getting saturated by it because it would accelerate the burning of the clothing, so. Yeah.
I lost a patient and it hit CNN. This guy's death was on CNN. He was one of my patients, and we didn't like it. I worked with a company called AmeriCare. I was a oxygen therapist for them, O2 therapist. And we didn't like that he was getting oxygen from another company that put in these tanks that had liquid oxygen in them. And we kept going, well, you really need to, we can't do it for you. You have to do it. You've got to call them and have them come get this. You don't need it. You have a concentrator now, as well as E and D tanks for if you need to leave the house. You should not have liquid oxygen because I told him what it does. And this is exactly what happened. He put it in his closet and it leaked. And the oxygen saturated into the carpet and into his clothing. And his bed was right next to it, and he was smoking and dropped an ember from his cigarette, caught the carpet on fire, and the place went up. And it caught the other houses next to him on fire. Killed him within minutes. He was dead quickly. Thank God.
Smoking when on oxygen treatment, not
so many of my patients never gave up smoking. They had COPD.
COPD.
Yeah. And thanks for talking over me. They had COPD, which stands for
Chronic
Cardio.
obstructive.
circulatory obstruction pulmonary disease.
Oh.
And it blocks your airway, and it's not the air getting in that's the problem, it's getting the CO2 out. They will literally suffocate from swelling in the alveoli. It's terrible. Asthma does the same thing. But anyway, so he demands a call to go into all the tags in the street. And there's Constance Wu
Katie?
watching the scene. She's waiting because she wants to ambush Jai when he comes out. And here we got all these camera crews ready to corner him as he comes out.
You're just doing this to annoy me, right?
And he's there waiting, and what's her name is already got the flower truck set up, and she puts it next to them and then walks away, leaving there. And that's the truck that has the bomb in it. It's a bomb designed specifically to go into the vehicle next to it and kill whoever's in that vehicle. She confronts him, slowing him down by being there. And I want to point this out here. This is a cool scene. It's causing a problem. And so Chris Pratt's character gets aggravated and goes ahead and detonates it, even though he knows she's right there, hitting Jai's vehicle. And things
You
just
skipped
got...
over something.
I'm not skipping over anything. It only goes 30 seconds at a jump.
High tension in this scene, too. It was great. Yeah.
And here he comes, firing his weapon and taking out his team, shooting each one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's absolutely a precision assault where he is only shooting the bad guys. And I do like this scene a lot where he goes up those stairs after him. And he's such a badass. He's firing and then he runs out of bullets. And then he walks up there and just puts one in his head. And he's like, please, please, please don't do this. Please don't do this. But he does and leaves him laying there with a big old hole in his head. And of course, Constance Wu's character is watching and is just like, what the fuck? That's her laying
Like
down there.
when his operator says to him, "Get up, you fanboy."
Yeah, get up, fanboy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's killed this dude, and he's really in the line of things. He's the top dude. So he's killed the bad guy. I was kind of sad that we didn't get to see more of a fight, but fuck it, just kill him.
He's just playing soldier.
Yeah, I think it's a testament to Chris
He's
Pratt's
not a
character
tough
is a
guy.
soldier. That other guy's playing at it, and
Yeah.
he pretty much put an exclamation point on it in this scene.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and show this here real quick because he actually does, like the video game, hijacks a car. He's like,
Excuse me.
get out of the car, get out of the car. Sorry, sir, sorry.
Yeah.
He's like, first, get out of the car, get out of the car. Sorry, sir, sorry, sir. Gets in the vehicle and takes off with it. And I want to go ahead and continue showing this because it's important.
Leaves her behind.
They're on him.
Yeah,
and
they are.
And this is an absolute fact. Once they are on you, they're on you. They're not going to lose him. Because they'll, of course, call in air support. They have so many fucking vehicles going that, APB goes out and they just start, like, we are now on, and they'll give where they're at, and the vehicles are all moving to head off that vehicle. So he knows that he's in trouble because they've got him. And, of course, that's the end of the episode.
Can I point out two things, please?
Come on.
Because Horn was doing a press conference in front of that building because Mike's death, of course, caused waves. And he's blaming Reese for it and tells the public.
Yeah, puts the blame off on...
unstable and probably behind the death of Saul, the guy that he killed with an overdose.
Yep.
And after the press conference, Katie confronts him about the deal and he tells her it's done, it's closed. I think that's important to mention.
Now,
yeah,
these two things.
I think we forgot something. that one of the main guys behind the whole complot was Reese's former admiral.
No, I
Oh,
think
that's also I forgot about that because now they know
mentioned it.
his superior commander is
The one who says to him that he couldn't protect his family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I do like that. Let me cue up the next one. This one goes right into a scene that is kind of tough to watch. And he has to go visit his dead wife's family. And so he goes for he has a sit down with them, and his wife, his mother-in-law kind of shits on him a little bit. Of course you're leaving. And then he explains, no, I'm not just leaving. And then explains that he is going to go make everybody involved pay. In other words, I'm going to kill everybody. They understand the language he's using. And then she retracts. You can tell she emotionally retracts her aggressive statement, realizing she fucked up, saying that.
You do what you gotta do, she tells him.
And she tells him that, do what you got to do. Kill them. Kill all of them. And I wish I had this video. I'm going to put it up there, but I have this other video where it's like, are you going to kill everybody?
Bingo!
Yep, there you go. And Chris Pratt just fucking, if he does not get a nomination out of this, it's out of hatred for him.
Oh, he needs to get.
Oh, you talking about the Emmys? Yeah, no, most definitely. You've never seen him in a role like this ever.
This is one of the best characters I've seen in a live action TV series.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't, this buffoonish comedic actor.
Yeah.
Known for showing his dick on set. Fucking nailed this character.
He did.
It got him in trouble. I've told this before where he was, that scene where they open the door and he's just standing there at the door naked. He was actually naked with his dick hanging out on the TV series Parks and Rec. And they actually looked down at his dick, and it's on camera when they did it. And HR got called on it. They had to warn him, don't do that again. Because he's a nudist. He likes being nude. He likes nakedness. And he's talked about it, like on many interviews. He's talked about it. Like, I like being naked. I can't help it.
Yeah,
So,
it's fine, but don't force it on others. I mean.
Yeah, there's an innocence to him, though. And I think it's funny. Because I don't think he's naive, but I think he's very childlike in some of his attitudes. But with that said, the guy knows his whiskeys. All right. Mm-hmm. So he's still being pursued. They're never going to lose him. In fact, if I had shown that scene right here, this scene, all you should see is that truck right there and a line of vehicles going all the way around that mountain, because that's what it would be. It's like, once again, that scene from Gary Oldman in The Professional. Everyone, bring everyone! And that's what the LAPD would be doing. They'd have state police, highway patrol be out there, county and city following him, as well as the feds. There would just be a long line of vehicles and helicopters, probably be about 2 or 3 helicopters. One of them would probably be news. And so his getting away is going to be purely going into the woods.
Yeah, they stop his car with spikes.
Yep.
Make it go off the road, and he just runs.
Yep. And they shoot the fuck out of it. There's no like, throw your weapon out. Put your hands outside. No, it's just like, boom, 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 and they just open up on this fucking vehicle.
They hit him too.
Yep. Because of what he did, and I said this to Anima, I said what he just did technically is considered an act of terrorism. Setting off an explosion in the middle of a city street. Yep. So he went to the single most wanted man ever in the history of the United States. Above John Wilkes Booth after killing Lincoln. And, That was why it was such a, when you think about his decision, I wouldn't have done it the way he did it, because you are literally doing an act of terrorism, setting off an explosive with projectiles in it in a city street.
Yeah, but he has nothing to lose. All he wants
So
is kill off all
he's
these guys.
assuming he's going to die. He has assumed it. Once again, playing into the name Terminalist.
Yeah, well, and he doesn't care if he dies by being shot by them or by
Oh,
his tumor.
he has a death wish. He wants to be with his family.
Yeah.
And so they check the vehicle. He's not there. They find his bag of pills. In his rush, he left the medication. And on top of that, they see the blood. And so we see him hauling ass through the woods. He is wounded. Finds
Ranger station.
Yeah, Ranger station. Finds first aid kit and some other stuff, and starts to deal with his wound.
Yeah, the first aid kit is empty though, so he has to improvise.
Worst first aid kit ever. I worked for that company back in the 80s. That same company that makes those first aid kits. Those things are never empty because that's part of their job, is to go there to make sure it's always full.
At a ranger station.
Because the ranger station through the state would be paying for that to be kept up, the upkeep of that medical kit, so that it would never be empty. But that is funny though. They should have had like a non one that wasn't on the wall like that, because that is actually managed by the company whose logo is on it. And so he's trying to fix himself up, and then he puts a phone call into Ben. And we have, is this a memory of a hunting mission? I can't remember this.
No, that's them. Them hunting for him with dogs.
Oh, okay.
Which only goes well until the rain starts, and then they have to call that one off.
Yep. She's not happy with him, of course.
Well, he didn't make the rendezvous like he promised.
Yep. So he's got to find a way to survive, evade, and that's part of your training in the military is evasion. A lot of people don't know that, but that's what SEER training in specifics was to basically baptize you in the concept of search, evasion, reconnaissance, escape.
And used to call it escape and evade. Yeah.
Yep. And it's part of your, like when you do war games, SEER is part of war games. And because they'll set up a mock prison of war camp, and the field judge will point at a bunch of people. It's what happened to us. And they pointed at us and said, you guys are dead. You are now prisoners. And we would have to go off with the aggressors. And they would take us to a prisoner of war camp. And so he's doing what he's trained to do, evasion, as well as trying to save himself.
He has a radio and he's listening to the police talk.
Yeah, he's listening to them talk to each other.
That helps. And Ben, in that earlier scene, Riley is worried, so she calls Ben, and Ben tells her, yeah, there's nothing we can do. We need to sit tight and let him do his thing. He's trained to do this. And she's not happy. She wants to help.
Yep.
Then he starts talking to him.
He also finds out that he forgot his meds in the car. So he knows he's fucked.
And here we see some other guys that some of them were in the teams. And two of them point out, man, hey, man, he's one of us. I don't want to be killing this guy. I don't want to kill this dude.
Going rogue and killing people that's not like him. And then, what's his name? Tony tells him.
Yeah, this dude here, he served with him.
Yeah.
And knew him. He says that's not in his character. And that's when it's brought up that he has a brain tumor. And that his behavior may not be rational because of that. So they realize they might have a loose cannon out there.
And they get all the forces in.
Yep. And then they don't want to take him with them. They're like, no, we'll do this. And he brings up that, hey, man, I did some stuff in summer camp. And really, that's being in the military. That's how I'd look at that guy. Oh, so you were ROTC. Wow. That's awesome. That's real military. No, it's not.
No, it's not. But hey, I did it.
A lot of guys did ROTC, man.
I was never an E1 or E2 because of it. So.
My best friend in the Army, Julio, like when we were in basic training, man, he's like, "Yo, Kiss, man, yeah, I'll help us. I'll help us with some DNC and shit, man." I said, "You know how to do DNC?" And I thought he was going to tell me he was in marching band. He goes, "Yeah, man, I learned it. I was ROTC." And I said, don't say that too loud here. They will kick your fucking ass. They will wreck your fucking world, the drill sergeants. Mm-hmm. They will fuck with you if you tell them that. You don't ever tell drill instructors you're ROTC. Oh, you're a real soldier. And they will just make your life miserable. Shit you not. I watched it happen.
Well, the guys that were in for 4 years like me and part of a drill team and stuff like that, you can't hide it because you go in as an E3.
Shut up, Che. Shut up, Che, with your back door.
Hey, by the way, Che has made a breach.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at it right now.
That's what he's talking about, yeah.
Yeah. So here you go, buddy.
Open your back door, baby. Loosen your hinges, I'll show you my key.
And Bush is in
best
the house.
one, man.
Hi, Bush.
Bush is here. What's up, Bush? I played enlisted, Gary, so I've basically been to war.
That's good.
I got to tell you, the girl, Jessica Lynch, man, when they went in and got her, I always thought that was just so cute, her response. I'm a soldier too.
Oh, please.
I'm like, oh, that was because she was in combat, man. She had to fight for her life. Her and that other female, she was at both 88 mics. I think that was their MOS, their 88 mics, truckers for the military. And, man, they were going after those trucks, man, ambushes like crazy. So I tell people, it was 88 mics that saw females that saw first females that saw combat in the U.S. military. And they had to fight for their fucking lives, man. They wanted to take them hostage. Scary shit, man. Especially with countries that are known for rape culture.
Come on.
You know what I'm talking about, Joe.
Yes, sir.
The Baathists were notorious rapists. And I personally saw the rape rooms in Kuwait.
That was one of the biggest arguments about females being in the military is situations like that.
Well, that's what they bring up in the movie G.I. Jane. I don't want to derail too far into this, but G.I. Jane, when he did that during SEER training and her senior grabs her, bends her over a table and starts to rip her BDU bottoms off in front of everybody and then stops. He was trying to, I don't want to say it this way, but I'm going to say it. He was trying to pound the point home that, that's what, phrasing, that was something that she more than anybody had to fear.
Yep.
Because as a female, especially in certain cultures where rape is part of that culture, they showed that in the movie, even with men, with the Turkish military in Lawrence of Arabia, that rape was part of that culture, that raping a man was a way of showing alpha dominance over them. And that's how they looked at it. It was a form of torture, too. And they allude to it in the movie. They don't show it. They allude to it in the movie Lawrence of Arabia because it was the 60s and they were afraid of being censored. So they just allude to it. But anyway, Camper Joe here is going to go on the mission with them. And he's like, if I slow you down, kick me loose. And I'm like, okay, tough guy. And that's what we would have called him. We would have called him tough guy in my unit. Okay, tough guy. Anybody that talks Billy Badass and says, if I get in the way, man, just if I slow you down, just kick me loose. Okay, tough guy. So they're all like, okay.
Sure.
And then little Ranger girl here, you know, God, she's always talking up the game. You know who the scariest person is in a room that's military? The one not saying shit. That's how you exhibit strength. Is the person that just gives you a look. The talking shit, which they constantly had her doing, is not how you show how tough somebody is. It's how they react to things without talking. The staff sergeant was trying to prove that it was more torture to the men than to Jane. Exactly. Because it would impact everyone, not just her. It would impact everyone around her, knowing that this happens. Good point, Bush. Very good point.
Yeah.
And by the way, once again, very 70s of you, your name.
Bush.
That's a big Bush right there. That's a bushy Bush.
Jeez, scary.
Oh, fugitive task force. That's what I do.
Well, about that interaction between the tough guy and Cap, I like the writer started to show some balance because she comes to him and berates him, and he stopped her, riding her on her track and say, "Who do you think you're talking to?"
Right. Yeah, that's the problem with that character, though. Her character, she's absolutely unlikable because she does shit like that. So they jump in the Black Hawk, and they're heading to whatever location they're going to get dropped to start hunting him directly. 70s Bush, 80s gay. Amen, man. So he hears them and he sees them. He knows they're on him.
So he sets up a trap.
Yeah, and they fast rope down and start hunting him. Now, he's already pre-planned this shit because he knows they're going to have shit in the air, keeping an eye on him, trying to look for thermal, all that stuff. So he has to create confusion. And so he starts using some of his tactics.
He's using a cell phone.
And he doesn't want to hurt anybody. He really doesn't want to hurt anybody. So he sets up booby traps around these trees. And then it's so funny. The audio that plays when he detonates the explosives is that video game guy that goes where they're playing a World of Warcraft or some shit. And I forget his name. It's a famous video where they're like, okay, we're going to go in. Yeah. What's his first name?
Leroy
Jenkins. Just goes in the room, just starts doing shit. And that's what plays, and all the explosives go off and blind him and shit. And it's a great moment. And he runs, and he's got little D batteries, and he puts them together, male to female tips. Yeah, I know, it's a sexual thing. And that generates heat. So he's creating multiple heat signatures for the drone or whatever they're using to track heat signatures to confuse.
That scene made me laugh when that one guy reports we got multiple heat signatures, and he gets asked which one is him, and I'm like, yeah, they don't come with name tags on.
Yeah, they don't come with name tags.
Yeah,
dipshit.
Such a stupid question.
And he moves up to the hill, and this is one of my favorite moments in the episode. Because, you know, he has a flashback during the scene, and it's intermixing with the real moment where he's actually looking at somebody with the Taliban doing a roadside IED, and he's got a scope on him, and he's also in the moment with the scope on. That's the federal agent right there, and he's scoping him, and it leads to this moment where he has a chance to fucking shoot this guy. He could take him out right there.
Mm-hmm.
And he chooses not to, but he leaves a message for him up on this ridgeline when they get up there of a bullet on top of the rock.
Oh, whoa. We have a news from Cam.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, man.
Hope he...
Bye, Cam. Oh, man, I'm so sorry. I hope everything's okay. I hope they can save him. Oh, that's awful. That's awful. Damn it. Tim Allen loved the cocaine at one time. It's true. But anyway, so he had a chance to shoot this guy. He now knows this psychologically. So his narrative that this guy's a loose cannon absolutely falls apart right here. That I could have killed you, and I didn't. So he left it, and I think he put his name on it, right?
No.
I'm trying to remember.
There's no name on it. He just leaves.
No, they just find it, and he goes, and the team leader goes, "Well, that's a message."
Yep.
Because that means he had the shot. They gave him a chance to give up. They tried to talk to him, and he's not giving up, of course, because he's on a mission.
Yeah, and Anima asked me, like, when he moves, why did they just open fire like that? And I said the reason why is because unless he has disarmed and puts his hands out, he's considered an absolute threat. An absolute threat. Unlike some people, they might hold off from firing. This guy is referred to as combat effective. You do not hesitate with them at
Armed
all.
and dangerous. Yes, you have to.
They
treat them
are
like it was
absolutely, you treat them at all times as somebody that is completely lethal. You do not try to talk to them. You don't negotiate until they're either not armed or they're behind something, and then they throw out their weapon. Otherwise, if he pops up without any warning, I would drop him in a heartbeat, type of situation. That's what I'm saying. What, buddy?
Can you track back that video, because that is after the fall, and that fall was nasty, man.
Oh yeah, he's trying to go up he's going up the cliff.
No, down. He's going down.
Oh, he's going down, and he ends up falling, and he gets fucked up.
Because his symptoms are getting worse really quickly.
How is not?
And part of it is the shaking and the grip. He's losing his strength because of the shaking. And
the tremor in the right hand,
so his ability to hold his weight with his hands is just gone, and he falls, and it's a nasty, you're right, it was a nasty fall. So he's got to hold up in this cave, and they start talking to him, and he has a dream, and he's talking in his sleep, and they hear him talking.
Because he's using some kind of a radio to talk to his wife in his dream.
It's a two-way, long-range two-way radio. Yeah. And so now he's got a flare, and he's going to use that to heat up his blade, and he's going to cauterize his wound. Animo's like, no. Because the bullet there's no exit wound, so we know the bullet is still in there.
So he's sealing the infection by doing that.
On top of that, we know that it went through fabric when he got shot. So the odds are there are going to be small particles of the fabric in his wound. And that absolutely will cause an infection. And, yeah, exactly, Mikey. So he does that, and he's trying to calm down. And they're like, hey, man, you can surrender now. And he goes, you could also just go home. It's like, we both have missions. And this is where he has the dream. And then, of course, he wakes up, and he was actually been talking. And they heard him. And they're like, hey, dude, this is some shitty weather, man. Hey, man, I was in summer camp, too. And, dude, rain sucks. It's cold. And
you have my permission to go when you want to.
Absolutely. It changes the structure of the metal. It will ruin it when you heat up a knife like that. You should never heat it to the point of getting red. But sadly, to explain to the audience that's what he's doing, they show it go red. But the fact is, you don't have to heat up a knife that much. You can actually heat it enough to where it, if you heat it up and you touch it with water and it sizzles, it's hot enough to cauterize. Fish belly messes up the temper. Yep, that's correct. So he tells them that they could leave too, and they share a moment on the radio, him and the Fed. I know you could have killed me today, man. I know you had me in your sights, man. I'm on a mission, motherfucker. I'm going to make the people who did this pay. And what's interesting is we progress, that federal agent begins to, whether or not, it doesn't matter. He still has a job to do, but he believes the story. He believes that this is what's going on. There is a conspiracy.
It reminds you of Gerard saying,
Yeah, you want to
I
play
don't
it?
care.
You want to play it, or
Oh,
you want
Gerard.
me to? You want me to play it?
Go.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
Yeah, I got to do my job to bring you in. Because his job is the same thing here as the FBI's, is, fugitive recovery.
That's it. I don't care if you're guilty or innocent.
It's got nothing to do with
you
me.
up and take you to the authorities. That's it.
Exactly. And I'm going to play this one real quick because I just saw it. I got to play it.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
That's right, Major. You did.
I lied.
All right, so it's morning now. They got to go hunting again.
And they find the spot where he's been sleeping.
Yep.
And they know which direction he's headed in.
Yep. And then we see, because California is chock full of areas that are burned out from wildfires. So he's getting ready to go through an area that has suffered from a wildfire. So, and a lot of what you're going to see here, because I was trying to explain to her, I said, this kind of hillside is going to be different than what you might think. It's going to be covered in loose dirt and ash, soot. Not just ash, soot. So the way things happen in here, I actually have no problem with what he does.
Yeah, my wife and I were watching it, and I said, "Look, this is specific to California. This is why they have mudslides and things like that. The foundation is very
that
soft.
topsoil is very loose.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
very loose, and it's a hazard. And so I explained to Anima, this is different. This isn't going to be like a hillside in Croatia or other places. California has some weird ass fucking hills, and the soil is very loose.
Yeah, Dalmatia just has rocks. There's not much loose dirt.
Oh yeah, where I'm at, it's all red clay. and
This
stuff.
scene,
Yeah.
this scene.
Flashback again, but this time he's seeing himself with his family. He's outside the window.
I actually kind of want to show this. It's just that transition right there. Wow.
Yeah.
On the hillside, and suddenly he's
job.
back at his house.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's outside the window. He's the bird.
Yes.
Now.
Yeah, I always thought that was what they were trying to show visually.
Oh, it was. It definitely was. The daughter is also the bird. The bird represents a couple of things in here, but he is definitely from the beginning the bird. And he identifies with the bird, and he tries to protect his daughter, and the mother says, you don't have to lie to her. And I like this scene so much.
Yeah, kind of hard to watch though.
And
it's hard to watch because you care about the characters because it's written so well.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Just watching her, reliving the moment. And I got to pause it because I got to make sure we don't get ganked for this shit.
Absolutely.
We might later. I don't care. I don't want to get ganked now while we're live.
Yeah. You're still up.
Oh, the bird
I'm
hits
watching
it. It's like it went right through him. It was weird.
Yeah.
And so now she's going to get up and watch, this scene.
Yeah.
She talks to him. But he's also behind her.
she sees him, you know.
Yeah. And he's like, don't go away, but the parents go away with her.
Yeah, Boosh, this show does flashbacks right.
It very much so, because as somebody who also suffers from them, I can be in a moment I've been in them while talking to Anima on a date, and I'll just be talking about something and I'm reliving it in my head, and fuck. So this is a tough scene, and when she starts to walk away, turns to go, don't go. He's like, don't go. And he's back on that fucking hill.
Because he hears the drone that they set up to find him, and that snaps him out of the flashback. And he shoots the drone, giving them his position.
Yeah, I want to show that. I do want to show that. He turns, comes out of the flashback, and there's that fucking drone. Hey, don't mind. I'm going to put a couple of 223s in you. Oh, there you go. All right, bye. Oh, we lost it, man. This is a good scene. So now he knows that they know where he's at. He's got to do something. So this is a last-ditch effort to get out of this situation. He creates a dead man switch situation. He's like, fuck off, or I detonate this.
Yeah, he sets up a trap, so when he explodes them, it will cause a landslide.
Oh, there's no way of doing that, Monkey. I wish. We're not big enough to get their attention for something like that. They would never do it. So he sets up C4, I think it is. I think he used plastique.
I think, yeah.
And then he's got the detonator in his hand. And he's like, back off, or I detonate this. And they realize, oh shit, it's all around us.
He's talking to that obnoxious female, and he calls her Army all the time. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, and this is where she says that cringy fucking line.
Yeah. Oh,
he
Jesus
goes,
Christ.
You, Ranger. She goes, yeah, even Navy SEALs got to have a hero. And I'm like, oh, fuck off with that.
Yeah.
That was
what a cringy line. I don't care who delivers it. That's just something you don't say.
Don't write that shit.
And she yells, back up, but they move forward, and he sets it off. And he keeps telling her to back up, and she won't back up. She tells everybody else to back up. And she ends up getting buried in the explosion along with him. And he is just
get
covered.
So badly because he managed to run a bit, but
he sees because that's not dirt, that's soot all over him. Mm-hmm. That stuff is a fine powder, and it gets on you, it gets in your pores. He finds her, digs her out, and she's not breathing. In fact, I'm not sure. I think he does chest compressions on her too, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he does CPR.
CPR.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he does any breathing for her. And this is what I learned later, because I was a CPR instructor up into the 90s. And we were always taught to do, depending on the size, whether it's a child, adult, whatever, how many compressions you do to how many breaths you give them. Mm-hmm. And you always give the first initial life-saving breaths to oxygenate their blood, put oxygen in their lungs to oxygenate the blood. But later, it was discovered that you don't really have to do that up front, that you can do the CPR without doing the life-saving breaths, because the blood is already oxygenated and there's enough in there to keep the brain and heart alive. The primary organs. I
want to say that during my years of training as a CPR, somebody certified in it, that I want to say, Gerry, they update it about every 10 years, don't they? I remember when I started, when you were alone, you were supposed to do 15 and 2.
15 and 2.
And as a team, you went 5 and 1, something like that. And but then they changed
CPR.
it to 15 and 2 all the time, whether team or solo.
Yeah, and with kids, it's because their hearts are faster, they breathe faster. Take into consideration with children, which is interesting that CPR worked with her plate carrier still on.
Oh,
No, he pulled it off.
He pulled it off before starting.
But that's the thing. I want to say it's about every 10 years they update it, don't they? Something like that, Gary.
So they're trying to work
Bush
around it.
think
It seems like it
yes.
does change about that. He got her breathing, and they show up, and he is
They don't
made.
see him run though, so they think he's dead under there.
Yep. And of course, he sees the river right there, and he knows, and that if he didn't die, he got in that river, and they've lost him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not sure what river that is. I know that up north it's the American River and the Sacramento River. I don't know what river that is. It might be the American River because I don't know how far south that river goes. But either way it goes, she's back there. She hears the news report that federal and law enforcement believe that he died in the explosion.
And of
So
course,
she's-
at that moment, he comes in.
You know, she's breaking down, waiting, upset, and then he pops in. And I can't. What did he say to her?
Don't remember. It's been a while since I watched it.
I told you to leave.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, right.
Because I can't remember the exact line. Hey, yep, I thought I told you to leave. That was the line.
Mm.
I hit pause 3 times. I fucking hit pause, cocksuckers. Anyway,
Your
so
system is fucked up today.
I think they should have. I think she should have lost her mind a little bit here, that he wasn't dead. She's a little too subdued, in my opinion, but still, great fucking scene. They
He
hug.
should have pulled a Kenobi. Hello there.
Hello there.
Well,
Why,
hello
hello there. So now they're up in her. I love that plane because it's got one of those noses that looks like a dog nose. It really does.
Yeah.
It's a cute plane. I'd never get on it, but it looks nice.
It's an expensive fucking plane too.
We call that a Buddy Holly killing plane right there.
All single prop planes are Buddy Holly killer planes. We have lost way too many artists in buses and fucking planes.
Yep.
Worst one, a bus hit by a plane.
What?
Look it up.
I don't want to.
Famous guitarist that used to play with Ozzy Osbourne.
Randy Rhoads?
Randy Rhoads.
Really? Wow.
So they've survived, and they're going to make it out.
Martini, you're 10 minutes early, aren't you? Oh, no, we started
No, it's
late,
12
of course.
o'clock. We're late.
The whole thing at the beginning has put my time schedule out of whack.
It's,
So
it's not going to
he
be like
survived,
that.
and what's going on here? I forget this dialogue here. What's going on?
She treats his wound, and he tells her about his visions that he keeps seeing his family, and that he needs to get this out of his head because it's getting in the way. And she
Right.
tells him that after her accident, she had a hard time healing, but an even harder time getting the images of her dead co-pilot out of her head.
Yeah, and Anima thought he was naked there, and I said I wouldn't be surprised, but he's wearing skivvies. He's wearing skivvies. You can see the bottom of his shorts. But as much as he likes to be naked in real life. But I guarantee you he's been given antibiotics by her too. So he's been fully treated. And now he's going to gear up and do a jump into the ocean to go
Because
meet.
she's flying him to where Ben is.
Yep, and he swims to shore. Here we go. I like this scene. I'm going to go ahead and play it. And he's sitting by the ocean, just watching. That's kind of a Lethal Weapon moment right there, Riggs.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that kid's name? John Carter there? What Gambit, whatever you want to call him? What is that guy's name?
Oh, Taylor Kish, yeah.
Taylor Kish.
He is not in near enough stuff. I love that guy.
Good actor, dude.
Yes.
Good fucking actor.
Mm-hmm.
Disney fucked him. When John Carter failed, it hurt his career.
Yes, absolutely. It sucks because that if they'd have done that right, that would have been a franchise that's still going.
It was meant to be. But then Bob Iger took all the money that was supposed to be put into promoting the movie.
Yep.
And spent it on buying George Lucas.
Yep.
And used the movie to help sell George Lucas.
When they could have had their own Star Wars, right?
Which is why it's mentioned in the trailer.
Yep.
The story that that inspired Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the fucking trailer for the movie. Anyway, so he's watching, and here comes Pratt. Hey man, I didn't die. And he just smiles. He comes out, still alive, ready to kill some more fucking bad guys.
Do you think Riley told Ben that he's alive and that she's flying him to his
Oh,
location?
No, that's the plan. That was the plan.
it was the plan anyway, but I guarantee you she relayed the information that he wasn't dead.
Yeah.
Guarantee it. This is one of the best shows I've ever seen on Amazon original, and it's really one of the top 10 best shows ever. Gerry, True Detective Season 2 didn't do him any favors. It was cringed and forced and weird and added nothing to an already bloated show. I concur. I'm looking forward to Season 3 or 4, because Season 3 was the one that went back into the 80s, right? With the black cop. Wasn't that Season 3?
Oh, I don't know. I
never
didn't watch
watched
it after
it.
the
I
first
wouldn't know.
season.
Yeah, I'm going to stop asking you guys questions. I'm just going to go to Google.
Yeah, because I've never watched the show. Yeah.
Put it back up there, the comment, buddy.
There.
Because I'm going to want to respond to it.
All I know is Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey were in the first season of it, right?
Fantastic first season. Yeah, Season 3 was the one with the black cop. And I'll share my screen.
Mahershala?
Yes.
Blade, or at least the new Blade.
Yeah, the new Blade. I liked the season.
Cottonmouth.
I thought it was a good season. It was a good season. I enjoyed Season 3. Season 2 was, it just was weird and off-putting. And don't get me wrong, great performances in it. But the final scene was such a, I don't know, not very good. The airport scene, I just was like, oh, okay, whatever. True Detective Season 3 was good. I'm looking forward to Season 3, seeing how that goes.
But the Amazon shows, that's the Terminal List is one of the best ever. I would. Have you guys ever done Carnival Row on Fantasy Thursday?
Never watched it. I know of it.
Watch.
I just never watched it. It was one of those things that just doesn't fall into my wheelhouse of what I'd be interested in.
As far as fantasy stuff, that would be a good one to do for your Thursday show.
Yeah.
We're getting ready this week.
Machina.
Yeah, we do Vox Machina again. We got a new season.
Right.
And
I'm just talking about if you have a gap in there somewhere.
Put it in there. And if you'd like to jump on and join us,
absolutely.
What we do is, like, when we're out of shows, we'll do like an entire season or series in a day and just talk about the whole series.
That'd be good for that
movie.
Yeah, for sure.
What did we do last week? I forget.
Last
You
week?
did the rig.
The rig.
The rig. Oh, it's just awful.
So,
Dude,
God,
that
what a
didn't
disappointment.
deserve more than one show.
We have to do plan film.
Yep. So we have reached the end of the show. And I want to thank everybody for being here. Let's get to our list in the private chat. Let me go do it. Penny was the first one here. Alex Moore, Fish Belly. Glad to see him. It's the third time we've had him on. D. Bud Martin, Zacharat 315, Joseph Dredd, Monkey Chibas, thank you, come again, Cavatino Cavaruman Che, Dragon Ruse, Joe was in the chat, but he's already here, so I'm going to thank him another time. Thunder Duck, what a great fucking name, Thunder Duck. Brandon was here, Pat S., Keely Chow, Christopher Moonlight Productions, Cece was here, Dragon Bricks, Real Wade Nation, Pope Metallicus, Zax, a.k.a. Kyle, Cam's Crash Courses, and then, of course, the always amazing Boosh McFadden. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking part in the show. Anima, thank you for being my girlfriend. Daswolfen, thank you for touching my monkey. Joe, thanks for just being awesome. You're just an awesome dude. And having longer hair than me.
Always.
And thank you, Martin, for being the right side of my brain. I appreciate it more than anybody can ever say. And you know what? Every moment with you makes me think about this.
I'd buy that for $1.
And we now have our outro. So it's the end of the show, everybody. Arrivederci,
Bye, guys.
America!